Welcome back to episode 334 of the Bad Taste Video Podcast. I'm Mike. I'm here with Grizz, and we're getting into the holiday season. We're getting into the Christmas mode, and what better to do that than talking about the anti-God. But before that, let's hit that intro. Yes, and the people that are watching this live and or on video, you will be getting the full VHS treatment. You'll see how shitty it would be if you had to rent this from the store in what year did this tape actually come out? 1988, yes. And we have...
Beautiful, there it is.
I always liked this cover. I always thought it was kind of cool. I feel like it's not really indicative of like what the movie's about.
No, doesn't really... doesn't tell you much about it at all. Honestly, I don't like the cover. I think that's probably where like my initial like I'm not gonna fucking watch this, movie kind of came from.
Yeah,
I remember seeing it like it's been a long time since I actually laid eyes on this movie. Seeing it now, man, was an experience.
Okay,
we have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do.
I think I've really put some thought into something that I've never really dug too much into before, and that's John Carpenter, man.
Gotcha. All right. What do you got?
I don't think John Carpenter is a good director.
Okay, that is a hot take, man. That is a hot take.
Okay. I think he's a phenomenal writer. Like, concepts, dude, the man's a fucking genius. Can make a great premise for a horror movie. I think with him behind the wheel, shit doesn't come together for me. The only movie of his that I think is a complete home run is the one that we're going to be covering next week, which is The Thing. I think his second best movie would probably be The Fog. And from there, it pretty much falls off for me, man. I can't really... I couldn't decipher which ones. I think They Live has a great premise. Piper's okay in it. But it's a lot of fucking... I don't know. It's a lot of exposition with not a lot of bang for my buck, man.
There is a lot of dialogue in Carpenter movies.
For sure.
And I think that's why you like The Thing so much, because there's a lot of action in that movie. It's constantly going.
And I love the tension that's built in The Thing. I love the confusion that's kind of built into the audience.
The mystery, the whodunit.
And the confusion's on purpose. Whereas I think like with watching this one, the confusion, I think is just because Carpenter had an idea that was so large conceptually that it's hard to get all the information people need in the time of a movie.
Yeah.
And that's where this one suffers. Composer, phenomenal fucking composer, dude. Mm-hmm. Like he could compose any fucking horror movie. And it's
You're in. The chat is exploding right now, but Grizz does not like action movies. That's the problem. That's true. Escape from New York. That's an action movie. Like you're not really into that. Assault on Precinct 13. That's another action movie. You're not really into that. Big Trouble in Little China. It's an
Same
action
deal,
movie.
really.
You're not really into it. Like, if you're already going into the movie being like, "Fuck," like I don't, I'm
It'll be
not
a hard
really.
watch for me. You're like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna be kind of bored.
I
But
could
his
see.
horror stuff, I could even separate it. Just like, hey, his horror movies, man, and like, even with those, it's just never been. God, fucking John Carpenter. Those are the movies I gotta watch, man. It's like The Thing is the movie I gotta fucking watch. I have a Thing tattoo. I fucking love the movie, But yeah, I think I just kind of came to the conclusion that I'm not
You're just not
a
a fan.
Carpenter fan, man.
Yeah,
It just doesn't do it for me.
Well, like, as you know, I love the setup of movies. I love seeing people hanging out, what they're doing, everything in between. You know that I'm into that shit. And I feel like John Carpenter does it in a very specific way, and I like it, and I always liked it. John Carpenter's Vampires. Like that movie's from, a 90s vampire movie from him, and I think that movie's awesome. I love
I would
that
say
movie.
that's probably the third best movie of his after The Fog. I would probably put that one.
And
That's watchable for me.
And
I
that's
enjoyed
another.
that one.
Well, that's another one that it's go 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 almost the whole movie. But even things like The Fog, that's a pretty slow going movie. A lot of build up, a lot of tension. Very much like Halloween and stuff, where you're just waiting to finally let's see the fucking pirate ghosts. I want to see this shit. You know what I mean? It's just one of those. I think it's one of those things where you have a preference of a style of movie. Even shot on video films, everybody knows the movies that you're gonna love. Like you have a specific type of movie that you're really into, and a specific type of movie that instantly just sets you off track. And
this throws me off because I love religious movies, especially anything to do with like Satan and stuff, or like Antichrist. I love like all the 90s stuff, like fucking Bless the Child and Stigmata. I fucking dig those movies a lot, man. So like going into this one, I remember it being a little bit kind of in that realm. Where I think this movie here, Prince of Darkness, loses me a little bit is that there's so much forced science, and like the story mixing science and religion is just, he does it in a very strange way that gets very convoluted, man. This one's a tough follow.
Yeah, so Prince of Darkness was not a movie that I used to watch as a kid. I actually didn't.
I can't imagine a kid fucking watching this and being
no,
like, yeah, dude, that's
I
the
didn't
one.
see this movie till I was much older. It didn't really click with me. Maybe the first time I watched it or whatever, so I shelved it. And then I revisited it a couple years later, and I really was like, holy fuck, like this movie's awesome. Whatever it is, sometimes you're in the wrong state of mind when you watch it, maybe you're having a bad day, you watch the fucking thing. I love this movie. I love I'm the anti-Grizz today because I love the whole science aspect and like subatomic like particles and like them trying to do all this scientific research on this fucking like ooze that's in this container that like, how old is it? What is it? Something that like kind of crosses over between like faith and religion and stuff into like hardcore science and things that have to do with our realm. And I kind of like the idea where like we have our reality, like where we live, and then like once you start breaking down into lower levels of like the atomic makeup of everything, the rules just kind of like are out the window. So these like entities and everything are able to operate on a different level,
See, that's exactly what I'm saying, though. It's a great concept. Like all of that said, the way you put it out there, there's a great movie there, dude. That's fucking gonna be gnarly. I don't think it belongs in his hands. I think writing it, sure, dude, but like, this could have been something so cool. I think more visually stunning. I think it could have been. Everything's just a little bit of a letdown for me on this one. Even the ooze is just not very oozy. And another thing about Carpenter, dude, is that he's kind of a dick.
You don't like him?
Like, dude, all the interviews with him that I've watched, like, he's kind of an arrogant asshole where he doesn't have to be that way. You know,
So you're
like,
coming
he
at it
talks
from
a
a
lot of shit. Dude.
You got the personal vendetta also going against him.
Well, this is only like from like today. I was like, well, let me watch some interviews. Maybe there's more to this. Maybe he talks about some of his movies, gives me some insight that I don't necessarily have. And I just came away from it being like, fuck this guy, dude. Like, this dude's head can barely fit on the fucking screen. Like, why am I fucking watching these movies?
Here's something, man. What if he wrote this movie and he had like David Cronenberg direct it?
Dude, perfect fucking lineup.
That'd
Give this to somebody that can nail some cool fucking body horror, because this has an element to that with the science. You could really get into it, man. Like, the effects in this movie are solid, but there's just like not enough to be a fulfilling, especially coming off of The Thing. You know, like, he's already done The Thing at this point, right? This is what, 87?
This is 87.
So you know how to make some gnarly shit, dude. And like, you kind of just left me hanging on this one, where it's like all the story is there to give me some cool fucking monstrosities of science and religion based, you know, conjuring.
Yeah,
it doesn't come together, man.
Do you think that this is due for a remake?
Honestly, I'd watch a remake of this.
Have somebody have Panos Cosmatos, the dude that does like all like the wild like Lovecraftian type horror shit, you know, Mandy and all that. Like,
I'd like to see the same story tackled by someone like Brian Paulin, who could really fucking take that science creature fucking thing that I'm talking about and give me a movie that I would want to watch, just because I want the hyper fucking gore and shit like that. But on a bigger scale, absolutely. Somebody like him could nail this, I think, more so than, you know, what I think. I don't know. Everything is just so blasé and just bland in this movie. The pacing of it is so fucking... everything is slow to the point where there's no, like, urgency. Nothing feels like it's an emergency casual in this fucking movie. Yeah. Everything feels just like, oh yeah, devil's in the basement. Here we go. You know, here's some science. And I'm like, all right, cool, dude.
Why don't I give a little synopsis? We start this movie. If you're watching it, you'll see there's this old priest. He's got this box with a key in it. And in this room, which Donald Pleasance plays our main priest, in this room that he finds is this giant, like, cylindrical container containing a green ooze. And this thing is starting to escape the container, do some weird shit. So he contacts the local college, and they're going to come on out and try to figure out what the fuck is going on. And of course, half of them don't. Well, actually, most of them don't really believe it at first, right? And then, like, maybe halfway through, they start going like, maybe there's something to this.
Weird shit starts happening and everything, you know. So, you know what this movie's missing, dude? This movie is missing Bebop and Rocksteady in the basement.
You think that's like a TMNT ooze, the secret of the devilish ooze?
I couldn't stop thinking about that the entire time. I was like, when's Vanilla Ice gonna rap, dude? That would make this movie so much fucking better.
It does have a similar vibe, right? Like that, like container, the tank.
Yeah. It's like where like they get the other ooze from is from that container.
This is the origin, yeah. So what do you think about Donald Pleasance as our main priest? Not really the main character though, because I feel like after the beginning, like after he kind of introduces what's going on, he kind of takes a side step.
Separates out.
Yeah. What do you think?
I like him better as a priest than I do as the therapist or whatever in fucking Halloween. Mm-hmm. I think this is it's a believable role for him, especially because like he's a little bit older at this point too than he was in Halloween. He looks kind of like that old priest. Man, I thought it was a decent role for him. I was just like, of course, fucking you're gonna put Donald Pleasance in your fucking movie, you fucking hack. John Carpenter. No, I don't have that kind of vendetta against him. But like, I was just like, oh yeah, it's a familiar person for him. You know, it makes sense. But this is a better role for him, I think, man.
Yeah, I think he actually fits the character really well. It's kind of similar to a Loomis type character, right? Like he's a little kooky, but he's trying to do the right thing. He knows what has to be done, but nobody kind of wants to listen to him at first. It's a pretty good cast. Victor Wong, Big Trouble in Little China. Dennis Dunn, I think he's also in that movie. What's the main dude's name? The Brian Marsh guy, Jameson Parker. What other movies is this guy in? Because he looked Jackals, A Caribbean Mystery, Simon and Simon.
I love a good Caribbean mystery. That's a good
dude.
one.
Is this like his? Am I like fucking stupid or something? Is this his biggest movie?
He's a one and done guy.
He's in Magnum PI, Whiz Kids, Prince of Darkness,
Kids,
Spy, Major Dad. That's a good one.
Is it though? Are you sure?
No, Walker Texas Ranger. He's in an episode of Jag, 4 episodes. Yeah, so I like this dude. He's like pretty cool looking. He's got the mustache. He's like jacked, 80s jacked, I guess you could say.
But he's just like, he's such a run of the mill character. Like there's nothing that stands out about that guy, like about his features or anything. He looks so cookie cutter. Mm-hmm. It kind of makes sense that like this was really it, dude. Like, yeah, he was probably on fucking that show Coach for a few episodes or something. He looked like he could be on something like that. But it's like, maybe some Murphy Brown. That's in the time period. But I don't think he's fucking doing anything else, man.
That's pretty fucking funny. But you do have Alice Cooper though, playing like the king of the bums.
This I don't, dude. This aspect of this movie is so fucking dumb.
You don't like that the weird eclipse thing that's going on like affects the homeless people, like the mentally ill?
Okay, so this goes back to like the thing that is that this movie's too big for Carpenter to conceptualize inside the time restraints of a movie. And this movie is fucking like an hour 40 something minutes, like hour 45, hour 46 or some shit.
I think it's a little less, like the actual movie itself. Like I probably yeah, I don't know, but it's decently long.
Bro. But like there's just not enough backstory. There's not enough like reason for me to understand. Oh, why is what all of a sudden the bums are just affected? Like, is this a bum cult? Like, there's just nothing to like. Okay, there's Alice Cooper. That's fucking cool. Like, I'm just so like.
I think the bum aspect of the movie.
Second thought.
Well, man, I think it's only there to keep them in the building,
which is exactly why it fucking sucks. If you have to have an aspect of your movie just to give you an out for why they're stuck in there, when you already have a fucking reason to keep them in there, which is there's this fucking ooze that's emitting these fucking
telekinetic powers, able to do things.
Yeah, like it's already doing other shit. Yeah. Why can it not keep them inside the fucking church?
Yeah, have it lock the doors and windows and everything.
You don't need the fucking occult bums of fucking LA to be outside stabbing people with bikes and shit, dude. It's fucking weird.
I didn't think about that until just now, how that's such like a unnecessary aspect of the movie. And they're really only there to like keep them inside and give you something to look at once in a while, If
there was more to that story to have an understanding of, okay, like, so this container of ooze like was put there by this secret society and shit all this time, like what if these are like the fucking ancestors of the secret society who have been like turned into this like fucking cult to like release it after all this time. And like there's all these different places that these bumps could have been connected into why they were doing what they were doing. That is just so unfucking explained, man.
Well, there's a really like interesting thing that I wish they would have expanded on when Donald Pleasance is explaining the book that's down there that has all the writing in it and it's all different languages. Yeah. And he's like, like it's writing on top of writing on top of writing. But like the original writing wasn't completely erased. You could still read some of it. And then they don't really they don't really go into that as much anymore. I don't know. I feel like that would be like a cool thing because like it's kind of like a Necronomicon type deal. You know what I mean? Like the mystery tome. What the fuck is it? What's the purpose of it? And they do give you like a little bit, but I feel like that could have been a little bit more, of a main thing. They do see the symbol in the book that appears on the one woman. So like
What, the
that's
fucking Blue Oyster Cult symbol?
yeah.
Yo, what the fuck, dude? Don't fear the Reaper, it's coming, dude.
The mark of the beast, bro. That's the mark of the beast. Don't get bumped. That's it.
Godzilla's on the way. We're fucking done.
But there are faults to this movie. I do still like it. It doesn't take any of the enjoyment out of it for me. I think our viewers, listeners will be split on this one. I think this is going to be very 50-50. And I'm not just saying I like it because I say I like everything, because I genuinely do like most movies. I'm just...
No, you do. Yeah.
But I really do think that like the story and the way that the characters start getting possessed and turned, and the thing like starting to become more active and do more fucked up shit, it's just like entertaining to me. And the atmosphere of like that weird like the LA haze with that odd it's not even like an eclipse, right? It's like odd, like it's like the sun and the moon like over each other in like a weird way.
It's called the devil's toenail is what the actual like eclipse term is for that, when like it passes in that direction.
Really?
Super rare. Yeah, it's super rare. Yeah.
Oh, so like they actually had that's like
There's
actually
a
a real
reason.
that's a real thing. Does that actually happen?
Extremely rarely. Like there's like the coincidence is like once in some crazy fucking number.
That's scary as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
So if you see that shit, you know something.
That's when it's going down. Yeah.
Yeah. I do like that at one point they carbon date the lid, right? And the corrosion on the lid, and it's like 7 million years old or 6 million years old. Like that's pretty fucking cool. Like this thing has been in this canister for that long, right?
So,
like
I don't know. I have a hard time understanding how this 6 million year old canister ends up safely under a church in fucking Los Angeles.
the Brotherhood of Sleep,
in
bro.
1987, dude. It's just so, I don't know. Like this would make sense if this was like, oh, this is somewhere near the Vatican, that this is, somewhere where like, okay, yeah, this cult has been keeping this Satan canister safe somewhere near where they feel the most fucking safety, not goddamn East LA with fucking Chong rolling up in a fucking lowrider. Like this is fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah. I think I have to agree that you would think the security would be a little bit higher in a situation like this. At least have like the Knights Templar guy from the Indiana Jones fucking cave,
dude.
where like you choose wrong, you turn to dust. Like
Yeah,
maybe,
that fucking cup. Oh,
yeah,
great,
don't just
dude.
have
That's
some
a
like
great
old
one.
dude with a key basically locking this thing down. But I guess really like what can you do? Like some things are beyond, your control, like your ability to do anything. And I feel like this ends up resolving almost like in a happenstance, like a surprise. I'm not gonna
Does
say
it resolve?
Well,
mean,
we'll get into that.
Should probably show some clips. We've been
Yeah, let's get into this because we've been talking
yapping at it, dude.
Yeah, we've been philosophy. I can't right now.
Doing that.
Yeah,
dude.
fuck this. Where do you want to start, man? What do you want to do here? So once this thing starts breaking open, all hell breaks loose. People start getting possessed. This thing starts literally just super soaking people in the mouth with old,
It really does,
with
dude.
toilet water. But once these people become possessed, that's when like the cool shit starts happening.
That's when the movie takes off, dude. Okay, first of all, let's start with like Alice Cooper fucking stabbing this guy. This happens early in the movie, and this is kind of the first character to die in the movie. Is this nerdy dude? They're all at the fucking church. He's like going for like a walk or some shit. I can't remember why he's outside, but Alice Cooper kind of fucking takes care of business with this guy. And I'm so confused by this kill. I'm like, so these bums are just going to kill these fucking people? Like, why are these bums so mad, dude? I don't get it.
And he also uses a very strange weapon, a broken bicycle.
Cool.
Interesting.
Weird,
I always thought that was weird. But this guy, I think he was gonna fill in for the professor, so he wasn't staying. He had to go back to the campus because he had to work. So he's trying to leave. He's in this alleyway, and he's blocked off by the bums. He's actually listening to Alice Cooper, I think, right now. And Alice Cooper like stabs him with a bike frame, right?
Yeah, get it, dude.
But then he like, doesn't he like, yeah, he's just like leans forward, and it's like a tricycle. He like stays up. Alice Cooper's staring at the fucking moon. This dude just fucking hanging out there. Jeez.
So I did fucking hear in the interview though that like this only happened because like Alice Cooper's music video guy was the producer on this movie. This is like his first horror movie.
Really?
So like Alice Cooper came to the set to visit, and Carpenter was like, "Oh, I love the gimmick where like he stabbed people with the fucking microphone stand. I'd love to have that in the movie." Alice Cooper was like, "Oh, I'd love to do that to somebody in the movie." So then here we are watching him with a bike, though. Like, that's a weird. But there's a lot of different trash you could fucking turn into like that gimmick, and a bicycle is a weird choice. The kickstand, though, that whole fucking him standing up.
I like that. I think that's pretty fucking
nice.
cool.
A little juicy.
They also stabbed somebody to death with like a pair of gardening shears, right? Where'd these come from?
Yeah. This isn't Cooper either. This is some other fucking bum, dude. This is just some other.
It's like street trash. This guy's trying to leave. He's like, I'm out of here. Something's up. But unfortunately for him,
it's like a half a shear too, dude. I like that.
Is that? Or is that like a pruning shear, like a small one? Oh, he's just getting stabbed in the neck. Also, all the bugs and shit. Disgusting. He's just getting fucking destroyed. Deadbeat at dawn style. It's like, dude, run, man. She's got the crazy eyes looking.
But really, though, like, no blood.
Well, I mean,
no blood?
Maybe it's the VHS tape.
None? Weird.
But the bums do take care of business, man. They're like the spec ops of the movie, right? Anybody that tries to leave, they're snatched up and disposed of.
Okay, so another aspect though of like, if these bums have this connection to the fucking ooze, to the church, they're meant to be some kind of guardian of some sort. Like, have them, once they are killing people, like, it'd be cool to have some kind of fucking thing where they're carrying the bodies back to like fucking Bumville and they're doing cool fucking things. Yeah, doing something that like, I don't know, dude. This is just so like, it just feels so afterthought.
Well, the dead bodies like reanimate.
They do. We see that throughout the movie that like, and there's also like all kinds of. It's hard to decipher what the fuck is a future vision and what the fuck is like now.
So the
like,
only future visions are the things that you see of the front of the church that looks like it's done through a camcorder. That's the only future stuff that you'll see.
Future stuff. Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after this. But we do get a message brought to you by a zombified version of Garden Shear Guy.
Of that guy right there. This is probably the coolest thing in the movie. Maybe?
Yeah. This would. I don't know what I would do if I saw this shit. So they all look out the window,
Got a message for you.
and he's standing out there.
Going to like it.
Look at his chest.
There's just like beetles like fucking pouring out of him.
Ready for death.
His face is all fucked up. He looks like a zombie. And his head falls off. This is like something that would be in like Evil Dead.
This reminds me of fucking Demon Knight. When fucking homies like standing outside talking shit to him and stuff like that.
Yeah. And he's just lit up like it's only him. Alex Bittner.
I love that movie. I gotta watch that again, dude.
Crushing it, my dudes. My favorite part of Tuesdays. Y'all gotta check out some Reburied Repulsive Nature.
Okay.
Grizz, get on that shit, bro.
Putting it down. I'm marking it down.
But I really think that that's like a cool thing where these things become like demon zombies. So like you're never truly dead. You know what I mean? Like you can't escape. You're just coming back.
Well, I mean, he's fucking dead now, right? His head fell off. He turned into bugs. So I mean, that's something.
Well, there's that one
They're
sequence.
more of like a messenger corpse, right? It's really not like they're all just there to like continue passing on.
Yeah, it's like a hive mind, right? Like they're all kind of just connected.
Yeah.
Because the one woman's like translating the book at the computer, and she's just, and it says, I live, I live, I live. And it says, I have a message or whatever. Your Holy Ghost won't save you. Your God
Even plutonium.
Your God Plutonium won't save you.
That's so funny, dude.
No one will save you. And like, it's so funny. Like everybody that I've heard discuss this movie in a podcast is like, yeah, I'm not really sure what that means. It's like, yeah, it means that you can't
The
nuke
hydrogen
it.
bomb.
Yeah, you can kill
Yeah.
it. Like,
What do you mean? That's obviously what he's talking about.
I don't know why nobody like understood that like your weapons aren't going to work against.
We're
this
like a
fucking thing.
war worshipping culture as human beings, and like so God being of that culture would be the fucking atomic bomb.
Yeah,
Which is
plutonium.
derived from plutonium.
Yeah.
Like it's
But
pretty straightforward.
I thought that was like a pretty cool like thing to.
it's a cool way to put it for sure.
Yeah, especially like coming from like the other side or wherever the hell this thing is coming from. But like they start turning each other, right? The one dude gets turned by the two girls, gets fucking football tackled. Then she just like gets on top of him, starts making out. Then all of a sudden he's like fucking turned. He ends up cutting his own throat. Right?
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
That's a wild sequence when he's singing like Amazing Grace and then just sticks the piece of wood in his neck. And then he comes back.
See, all these things though aren't spectacular. Like that sounds awesome, right? But when I watch that scene, I'm like, it's not that great, man.
Just doesn't do it for you.
It's not as cool as it could be, in my opinion.
Do you like the dream sequence stuff? Do you think that's cool? Like the message from the future, from the Brotherhood of Sleep?
This is so confusing, dude.
Okay,
Like,
so they're
This is where everything is just like piled on. Here's some more on top of already a convoluted fucking story. Here's some future messages from the fucking sleep fucking chapter of Friends. And it's like, what the fuck is going on, man?
I enjoy this. I think it's really cool. We'll show you one later on. It's part of the end sequence. But what happens is anytime like you're around this thing, I guess they say like if you're connected to the Brotherhood of Sleep in any sort of way, and those are the protectors of the fucking like canister, they're supposed to be like the Knights Templar protecting the cup. If you're like anywhere around them, which I guess Donald Pleasance is now like the next one. Right,
Because
like he inherited it
protecting
from.
it?
Yeah, he inherited it from that old guy that died. So now these people are in the building. So now they're receiving the messages too, and it's cool because it's supposed to be like this message is from the future. This is from the year 1999. So it's 12 years or whatever in the future. I'm not sure what year they're supposed to be in, but at least 12 years in the future. And it's like the only way the technology we have will only allow us to like do this. I thought that's fucking awesome. Like that's
I do love a good Y2K fucking
yeah
thing going down with the fucking 999.
and it's like somebody like holding a camcorder, like shooting like a hooded figure coming out of the fucking church, and there's all like fucking smoke and stuff. It's really like, it's a cool sequence. If you just saw that clip, you wouldn't really. Yeah. That shit is fucking cool as hell.
But this is the fucking problem, though, dude. Is that it's just like, I'm gonna fucking just touch my toes into this thing that's kind of cool, but I'm not gonna do too much of it. I'm gonna just touch my toes into this thing that's kind of cool, but I'm not gonna dig too deep because I got way more other shit to talk about. You like gore? That's too fucking bad. This person's dying and it's not gonna be fucking bloody. And I'm just like, fuck, dude. Give me something more. Give me a full fucking expose on this fucking Brotherhood. Give me something that's not just a taste of everything that this movie is trying to get across, man. And it doesn't get anything across but a lot of tidbits that you can kind of piece together and make your own fucking.
I feel like it doesn't fully
assertions
commit.
on, man.
It doesn't
Yeah,
commit
to anything, dude.
What about when the goo is like flowing into the woman from the ceiling?
That's cool, man. The upside down camera trick that looks fucking great. I like the idea of like the goo entering her body kind of parasitically, and like now she's impregnated with like the Antichrist kind of thing. I think that's a fucking great concept. Her makeup and her like thing throughout the whole thing is definitely good.
Let's
Solid
show
as fuck.
Let's show the ooze.
Give us the movie.
The way that this tape looks, you can't really get the full effect of the color, but it is green. It's a little washed out. It's a well-loved tape. This dude walks into the room, though, and he just basically sees like a small lake.
On the ceiling.
Of this green liquid on the ceiling, like flowing in like a real odd way directly into the woman, right? Like into her mouth and shit.
We watched the black and white version. So
Yeah, that's what this looks like. It's coming out of her. It's coming out of her eyes and her mouth, right? No, it's going into her eyes and her mouth. It's like they did like the upside down thing. They do that a lot in this. They do that with the mirror shots too, which are pretty fucking cool looking.
Pretty good.
Yeah. But this is the woman that had the mark earlier in the movie, and this progressively gets worse and worse. When she like finally wakes up, she looks like fucking a Freddy Krueger-esque character, right?
This is good makeup. I like this.
I like how they're like looking like with the flashlight, just shining the light on her. Yeah, he's hiding in the fucking not a closet. I think it's like a confessional.
Great. The
She
smile.
smiles. Yeah. The minions standing there. Ooh, the telekinesis is coming back. It's getting more powerful.
Some giggling.
Yeah, I really do think
And that's why they don't need to have the fucking people outside, because there's cool ways to keep these people in this church without the bums.
True.
Like it's
true.
God damn it.
There's HD versions of this movie. I think they just came out with a 4K pretty recently. I think I'm going to have to buy that, because when you see this movie all cleaned up, it's fucking awesome. It's really good.
Okay.
When you can actually see the colors of everything, it's a lot different of an experience. Yeah. Especially with the ooze and her makeup and everything, and especially the ending. It looks a lot better when you can see everything fully.
See what's going on.
Yeah, you don't have that fucking haze. But eventually, there's more possessed people than not possessed. The one guy who he dies pretty easily. He gets like his neck broken, right?
Yeah, this was kind of another. This is a death too. That is just like.
You know what? I'll show it, because I feel like this is the only death in the movie that's kind of just like, whoop, and that's it.
Typical death.
I do like that he's trying to figure out, like, oh shit, this thing is like doing something. What's going on?
He's not a scientist, Doc.
I like when he's in like the fucking the lecture hall, and he's like,
I like when he comes back though. He's a good fucking.
He's a good zombie, yeah. But he just turns around and he doesn't even turn around fully, and he gets his neck broken, and that's it.
Fucking,
just gone.
The most like non-violent neck break of all time, dude.
I do gotta say that kind of sucks. That they could have like twist his head completely around and have him come back with his head facing the wrong way.
I took it specifically to show how fucking lame it was.
It is pretty funny when he gets stabbed in the eye, though.
Yeah, that is good time. That makes up for it, honestly.
So the remaining survivors are fighting to try to fucking stop this thing. This is where everything starts kind of going crazy. Our guys are fighting each other. We have the anti-god trying to come forth. But our dude with the broken neck ends up getting fucking stabbed in the eye.
Beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, they're beating the shit out of him with pieces of wood.
Like literally on the squirt gun.
Yeah, he squirts the one dude in the face, so, fuck you, man. Now you're possessed.
I like how he just stares at him after he squirts him, too.
He just gets stabbed in the eye with like a fucking, like a 1/8 inch dowel.
She laughs. She's like, haha.
I like that. I like her face.
Yo,
she looks
like
in the
her
mirror.
expressions. And in that shot in the mirror, touche. That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I think she's like a really, what do they call that? An expressive actress.
Yeah.
Right? Like, does
her
really
face
well.
Is great for this shit, dude.
Mm-hmm. It's hard
like
to
you
do
can
that.
read it through the makeup.
Yeah, it's hard because it's not your real skin, so it's hard to show like your brow furrowing or your cheeks moving. She does it all with her eyes.
That's why nobody else can wear the Freddy Krueger makeup, because Robert Englund's face is so defined still underneath that makeup, and
He's
he's so
able to work with it.
expressive
Yeah.
that like nobody else can really wear it and have it be that person. It's not like the mask of Jason or something.
Yeah, where anybody can put it on and it's whatever.
Yeah, and I think the same thing with her. She has such a distinct face that like you could have put this makeup kit on anybody else in the movie and it wouldn't have the same effect, man.
I agree. So now this is the ending. Our possessed woman, our fully possessed, 100% fucking demon person now, is bringing forth the anti-god, who
Through a mirror, right?
Yeah, so that's how they're like, she's like summoning him through the mirror, like putting her hand through the mirror, which is cool, like a cool fucking
Poltergeisty.
yeah, like it's like liquid, like liquid metal, right? Like T1000. But she's putting her hand through to pull him into reality, right? This shit is awesome to me. Like, this is terrifying stuff to think about. I am so glad that this is a movie and you never have to actually think about this being real. So she's bringing this anti-god forth, and he's got like a hooved hand, and it's red, like the typical Satan hand.
It's like the Satan from that movie Legion with Tom Cruise.
Yes. But she ends up getting tackled through the mirror into this other realm that's like water. And Donald
He's like,
Pleasance,
fuck that mirror.
Yeah,
He
Donald
fucking-
Pleasance breaks it. Now that's the fucking best part of that sequence.
yeah, when he's fucking...
When the portal is closing, it's like underwater and there's like flashing light, and you see her trying to like reach back towards like our realm, our reality.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy.
What a downer thing. Cause like you're either in hell or like you're in like
Purgatory,
limbo.
some type
Yeah.
of-
Like,
yeah.
oh, man, I love it. But did they actually stop it? Or did they just alter it slightly?
Or did they allow it to happen?
Yeah, did they actually
know?
create it? Was this the plan all along?
Yeah.
Right? And we
That's
get...
kind of how I took it, honestly.
So now
Yeah.
we're going to get another transmission from the future. You're finally going to get to see and hear what we're talking about with these future messages when our man is trying to get a good night's rest after a horrible, horrible experience with the girl he just met 2 days ago. No, not even. Yeah, about 2 days ago. But I guess they're in the same class. Whatever.
You are receiving this broadcast in order to alter the events you are seeing. Our technology has now developed transmitters strong enough to reach your conscious state.
I love this. It looks like a VHS tape, and it's closing in, and it's his girlfriend, the woman that fucking tackled the possessed woman through the mirror earlier
Coming out
in
of
the
the
movie.
church.
Yeah. He wakes up, he looks over. There she is. That's the fucking demon. But then he looks over again and she's gone. He like does the double wake up.
So did it
But
really happen? Is it
Well,
a
here's the thing.
dream?
Earlier in the movie, whenever you saw that transmission, it was all the same, except the person coming out of the fucking door was a different person playing it, also like just a different actor. But it was like a cloaked figure. Like this was clearly her.
Revealed. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost as if like they needed her to complete this. They knew this is how it was going to go. Right.
Almost like whoever was the person to fucking, like it was cloaked. Not even necessarily had to be her. It just had to be somebody to be fucking pulled into that realm to fucking, release the actual, anti-god or whatever it's supposed to be.
I love the downer ending. And then he gets up and he walks over to the fucking mirror and he goes to touch it, and it cuts right before he touches it to see if it's actually
Good ending, open-ended. You could fucking interpret it different ways. It's cool.
Dude, no, you do. You make a movie called The Brotherhood of Sleep.
That would be a cool modern movie that could take all of the elements that this has, but do a better job of
Yeah,
it, man.
you just have you,
Yeah.
and you could just have it happen again, just years later. Nobody really knows. They have to fucking contact this dude. They gotta get, you know what I mean? Like they have to go through all that shit to try to figure out what the fuck happened. This guy is like a fucking either a nutcase or a world-renowned scientist. It's one of those types of things, and it's like, yo, man, it's back.
Yeah.
That would be pretty fucking cool.
I dig that idea.
But I really do like this movie. Contrary to what you may believe, contrary to what Grizz may say, I really do enjoy this movie. I think it's got a lot going for it. The story's really cool. I think the setup for like the ending is really cool. I like the concept of it. I do think it's pulled off pretty well. It could use a little bit more gore, but also like it's not necessarily like it's a horror movie, but like you could watch this as almost like a thriller. There's horror aspects to it and stuff, but like it's not really bloody. There's no nudity. I don't really remember any nudity in this. I like it. I think there's worse things that you could watch for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
I think if you saw
definitely.
it like the HD fucking like 4K version, you might like it a little better also, because this is like kind of blown out, the version that you had to watch. But what'd you think? What are your after we spoke about it a little bit?
I mean, it's not like you said. It's totally watchable. It's not like a throwaway movie or anything like that. I think that it's just a grand idea that needs to be honed in. I think that there's a lot of aspects of it that can be thrown away. That time could be better spent diving into the actual like meat of what's cool about this movie. I think it's an amazing story that just needs a different director.
I gotcha.
I think that's pretty much it.
So that kind of means that they should watch it and form your own opinion on the movie.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said from the jump here, like I've kind of come to the conclusion that Carpenter's not for me. I don't care for his movies overall. The Thing being the standout, which I cannot wait to fucking cover next week. But other than that, I could really pass on the rest of the catalog and not miss anything too much. So
I gotcha.
no surprise.
And yes, next week we will be covering John Carpenter's The Thing from 1982. That will be live on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@badtastevideopodcast at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But Grizz,
Dude, before we jump over there real quick.
all right, what you got?
So, Christmas night, I'm pretty fucking stoked, dude. Are you gonna go fucking see Nosferatu?
Oh, no way. No.
What?
No.
Not interested at all.
No, I'll wait till that's streaming.
Oh my god, you're such a bum,
I don't go to the movies for things like that anymore. Like even movies that I really like, I don't fucking do it, because you know what? I'll wait the 2 or 3 months and save myself $50 because I don't need that for the experience.
I think you're missing out.
And I hate people. I hate sitting there with people, dude.
Yeah,
They
I
ruin
fucking
it.
hate people too, man. But at the same time, like now you can like pick where you're fucking sitting ahead of time. You're like, all these assholes are sitting here. I'm gonna fucking sit by myself over here in this fucking corner. No one's gonna complain about how I smell like a pound. It's gonna be a good fucking time, man. Like I've had that happen. So like I don't know. Like I'm a fucking huge Robert Eggers fan. I know that you don't really care for The Witch that much. I could
love appreciate what he does. He's got a similar. It's not bad. It's just not.
No. I mean, for someone who's like, I'm super into like time period movies, he fucking crushes those. He's so accurate in what he fucking does. The Northman was fucking incredible. One of the coolest Viking movies in like forever. So I'm excited to see this one, dude. I think Nosferatu, the remake from, I believe it was 70 something, of the 20s or the 40s movie, whatever it was. I think that fucking movie is awesome. That was like one of the first vampire movies that I saw.
I like Shadow of the Vampire. You ever see that movie?
Yeah, Shadow of the Vampire.
That's
super fucking good.
Yeah,
I love that the Count Orlok fucking that whole tale and shit like that.
Yeah,
that's a cooler version of the vampire to me than Dracula ever was, man. So
yeah, like more of an animal, like not really a fucking, that's why I always thought Salem's Lot was cool. Like
dude, for sure.
There was no
cool.
hiding in plain sight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you were a fucking creature, like you're a monster.
Fuck yeah.
Did you see the trailer for 28 Years Later?
I have. Yeah, I think that's gonna be cool, man. I'll go see that.
Yeah. Apparently, I was reading that there's going to be another one, and it might be a prequel to this one.
Okay.
So,
that'd be kinda cool.
I just want to see Cillian Murphy. Apparently, like, I don't know if they shot the other one already too, or they're currently shooting it or whatever, but like apparently he's like normal looking in that. So whatever happens in this one, you may like get the backstory or whatever.
Okay.
But I'm pretty pumped. I think the 28 Days and Weeks are fucking awesome movies. It's been enough time where I, I'm yearning for more, and I feel like he's a good, they do a good job with their shit, and it's probably going to be,
which is what those need. Those movies
Yeah.
have to build suspense, man.
Yeah.
They do a great job of that.
I love it. We'll see what happens.
Let's go over there.
right.
Let's take them on a fucking trip.
Wide world of metal, baby. What do we got?
Dude, we got all the way from fucking Melbourne, Australia. This is some classic fucking death metal. If I've ever heard it before, man. Band called Gutless. This stuff rules, dude. Let's just get into one real quick, then I'll talk about the band and the album. We're gonna start off with Avalanche of Viscera.
This is awesome.
Fuck yeah.
I love the fucking dive.
Love that artwork, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome riffs though. Shit. This guy's, the artwork is like a dude getting his fucking head smashed with a brick. That's fucking awesome. I love that.
Fucking the album High Impact Violence. This one just came out November 22nd, so it's been out for a couple weeks now. Man, I heard this and I was like, this sounds so dialed into what that classic death metal sound is. This sounds like it came out of fucking Tampa in 1996. These guys completely fucking get it, dude. I know when you told me you were pretty stoked on it, I was like, yeah, I figured you would be, dude.
Yeah, the song we have here, Scalpel Obsession, this reminds me of fucking Obituary. This sounds like a fucking...
Totally. I already know, for sure, dude. Dude rips.
It's like a James Murphy fucking solo. Dude, this whole band is like fucking solid.
Every part
Everybody. The delivery and everything, like the cadence.
It's just classic.
Yeah,
it's that true old school 90s death metal.
Yeah,
man.
this shit is fucking awesome.
It's awesome too. 4-piece band, guitar, bass, drum, vocals. This is how you fucking do it, dude. No thrills, no frills, just fucking putting it down, heavy fucking riffs, classic guitar solos, that like mean fucking Cookie Monster vocal delivered in that fucking cadence. This is what it is, man.
Hell yeah.
Let's give him the last one here, this Viral Infection. I fucking love this track.
Everything has such like a good groove to it and shit. This is like, how do you write this many riffs?
It just fits so well.
And this shit, hell yeah. It's fucking so good. I've never heard of this band until today, and I'm hooked. I'm hooked. This is like exactly the type of death metal that I love.
8 tracks on High Impact Violence. The 3 that we just showed you here is just a taste. There's another track called Gore God that I'm fucking super in love with. It was hard to pick, 3 snippets, because even those snippets of the songs that I chose, there's parts of those songs that are just fucking awesome. Like you said, the grooves are nonstop throughout this whole thing, man. It's just great hook driven fucking death metal.
Yeah, I absolutely love this. I think most of the people that listen to us probably will be into this. It's like not really like that. It's like that Obituary Tampa style death metal. Like that's really, that's how I would describe it. But like a modern version. Like
it sounds like Obituary with a young Corpse Grinder vocalist.
Yes.
On top of like all Obituary tracks,
yes.
Which is a pretty cool combination. Honestly.
Especially his like the delivery and like how he sings, very, very similar. I really dig it though. I think this band is fucking awesome.
You can find these guys on their Bandcamp. That's where this album is at. You could buy the whole digital album for $5 Australian. That's got to be a couple bucks US. So get the fuck on there. Throw them a few dollars. They also have hard copies and stuff like that you can order. They're on iTunes and whatever that is now. They're on fucking Spotify, I immediately went to my Spotify, put them on my gym playlist. I'm gonna be fucking crushing.
Hell
shit
yeah.
for this band, dude.
Hell yeah. Another good one, Grizz. You got another good one, man. Just by
Trying, dude.
chance. Just by chance.
So we do have coming up probably next week, if not, yeah, I think maybe next week.
The
I'll do
20th.
it. Yeah, I'm gonna do the album of the year.
Next episode.
Yes, next
Okay,
episode. We're going to do album of the year. I'm going to do my top 3 albums of 2024 from the different things that we've covered. I already know my fucking number one
All right,
choice.
I'll pick mine too then. Yeah,
I would love to do that, dude. Go through over the stuff that we've done this year.
We'll do top
pick
3.
your top 3, and we'll do the best of the wide world of metal for 2024.
And then on the 20th, that's a Friday night, we're going to do a live Christmas Feeders episode.
Oh, yeah,
we're going to
dude.
make
This
that a
is gonna be
Christmas
fun.
tradition now.
Yes.
Come hang out, come party with us. We won't be doing an episode on Christmas Eve, so this is going to be that week's episode. We're going to do it very early, and it will be released as a in the podcast form on, maybe I'll just release it on, I'll release it on Tuesday maybe.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
And you know what? He doesn't know yet, but EK is going to be on for that. And now that I said that, he has to come
Yeah,
on.
now
so
he has to come. Fuck you, man.
He's fucked. So
We'll get
sorry,
it.
buddy.
Yeah, either way, we'll have an extra person for that one. We'll bring on a guest. But that's going to be on the 20th. That's a Friday night, December, Eastern Standard Time. We'll figure out a time. Maybe not 9. Maybe we'll do it a little bit later. We'll see.
Yeah, you can dig in.
I like the 10 o'clock one. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, 10 o'clock Friday nights is a good time. Let's run for that, I think.
Yep. But next week we will be on at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to cover The Thing, the John Carpenter version. But Grizz, where could they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at Kane_enabler.
And you could find me at Bad Taste Video. You can find everything we do at www.badtastevideo.com. We have a Patreon. We put up a new Patreon episode, a Patreon exclusive episode, actually. You could go check that out. But you can watch us every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, most of the time. At 9 p.m. At our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@badtastevideopodcast. Anything else? Did I miss anything?
No, I think that fucking wraps it up. I am excited for next week, dude. The
Hell
thing
yeah.
is going to fucking rule.
Hell yeah. So we will see you next week with The Thing.